Have you ever made out with an older person? Like passionately kissed? Like an older person? Because that shit is fucking fantastic. Anyway, new Ultra Mega just dropped last week. But we got it now and we're gonna fucking look at it, you son of a bitch. Straight away, look at all the fucking monsters. Look at all the fucking... That's like a tarantula guy. Like a bear monkey man guy. This little centipede shit little guy this. Oh, all kinds. Love it. I actually sent him a message, Mr. Harron, to say I liked good work. That's what you need in your life. It's not enough that you're well loved as one of the best comics creators currently working. You need Ewan to tell you that you're doing a good job. But I said to him that everything I loved about the first book is just improved upon tenfold in terms of like looking at it, enjoying looking at it, because it's such a genuinely fun book to look through. It's so much the drawings and the movement and everything in the book is so much fun. I fucking love it. The size of that guy's chin, oh my god. There's a kaiju alert, oh my god, on Earth. I love the just generally somewhat people-shaped objects around these orb people, these buoyant orb people, commencing evacuation sequence. Oh, is that what? And then they get sucked into the emergency evacuation tubes and then spat out into safety or something, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what's happening throughout most of this. Kaiju alert! Kaiju alert! Freeze, kaiju scum! Oh, Ultra Mega's the kaiju. Oh my god. Ultra Mega's... Oh fuck! They're gonna fuck him up. Look at that. See just how fucking cool that is, just as a drawing. I'd be happy with just that as a drawing. This guy like swelling up and bursting out of himself. His face. I think it was in one of the previous issues of Ultra Mega that had the really good sort of several panels of someone throwing something up, and just the facial expressions and the sort of movement and stuff within that. The tension he drew in those few panels was so good, and he's got it there as well. I think the colour adds to it, but like the tears and the snot dripping down, the eyes bulging out, the teeth gritting, just like, oh god, as his body dysmorphs and fucking grows, bloats up like that, bursts out. All these fucking grubs burst out of his skin. And how good is that? Like the drawing of the body like coming apart, not just like splitting open, but like really coming apart like it's a wet fabric or something. All the meat, the skin with like the meat and juice underneath, all these grubs coming out, the face just on the floor like boom. And a good back shot of Mr. Mega. And then they all turn into monsters, I guess. All these suited gentlemen. Really good, like, I guess, I don't know if that's a cable going up to his goggles or something under the cloth. But that's a really cool little detail. Shapes in all the bits. They all turn into fucking monsters. And he's fighting all the fucking monsters. And this one bites down on his wrist and he just rips it through the thing's head. Its eye comes out. This guy jumps at him. I love, like, this has to be for James Harron making coming up with his comic and drawing the shit he just wants to draw, which evidently is just cool, weird, funny, funky looking monsters with just fucking little tubes and blobs and arms all bend weird and funny monster heads and teeth and eyes and jowls are fun. I always talk about drawing crotch creases, but like skin creases can be just as good, especially like a furrowed brow in the nose/eyebrow area. I'm squeezing mine as I say that. You can get some really cool, interesting creases within there. That's a good like elongated leg pose. Fucking, what do you call that? A lunge pose. They're all fucking eating him. They're gonna tear him apart. Jesus. This guy's jizzing all over him. Acidic, sklorg jizz. I like the onomatopoeia in this as well. Zort, sklorg, crash, nyarg, goomk, gra, goo. He's getting fucked up. Oh, it's a monster mass. It's like the Monster Mash, but it's a whole mass of monsters. It's like monsters that are going to church and taking sacrament. a monster mass. Look, that's a fucking car. It's got tentacle legs and eye stalks. That's a really funny monster design. Oh, it's so much fun. And like, there are comics that are fun if the story's good and then whatever, but and then there are comics that have good artwork in them, and you can flip through and go, this is good artwork, this is a good artwork, this is good artwork, and then the Art Attack theme plays. But this one, almost every panel is just fun to look at. Just it's drawn in a fun way. He's running away from the monsters. He's gotten up somehow. His pal, I think this is like his in his mind pal or something. I don't know if it's a real thing. This eyeball guy helps him get out. He punches his way out of the mass because this thing's talking to him. The enemy surrounds us. Fear not. Every fallen foe is a step towards greatness. Fight, warrior. Fight. And he gets his way out. There's a big rat arse there. That's funny. So he's running away from the monsters, and then there's these grannies, these old ladies, pushing a couple of carts full of babies, as you do. And he's running towards them. He's gonna fucking squash the grannies with their babies. Oh my god! A good running pose as well. One long leg and the arms balancing it out. It's good. And then it's Ultra Mega, the monsters, the babies, screeches to a halt. The movement James Harren draws, and he's got like fucking vicious claw or tooth marks or something in his leg there. That's a nice little detail that's in there. He's covered in blood, and it's like the scene in Spider-Man where he's holding the train back, but it's all monsters. Brilliant designs and drawings on the monsters. The pose, and his feet have like dug up the concrete from skidding to a halt. To stop the barrage of beasts from twatting the old ladies with all their babies. And a car gets flung up, smashes past the old ladies, and he runs down a side alley and says, "Get to safety!" And the old ladies say, "Okay." That's a pretty funny bit. That's a great running shot. This one especially, they all look like Godzilla monsters. Which is good, like a kaiju. That's what they are. That's where that all comes from, isn't it? But yeah, it's a great little running scene. He jumps onto a truck, boosts off up a building, climbs to safety, and then his red eyeball friend, you ran from the enemy. What the hell are you doing, you piece of shit? So I don't know, again, because I've not read it, because why would I? I don't know if this is like his not his alter ego, but maybe his like his id or his super ego or one of those, whatever one that would be, like talking to him, telling him to fucking sort your shit out, get it together, fucking fight. Meanwhile, ding. Is this it? The lair of your world's Ultra Mega. His name's Jason. It's magnificent. So these are like the aliens inside a person suit. Glorious. Boom! Walks into a wall. Which is funny, because they're in a man suit. You can't necessarily see where they're going. And just bump into a wall. That's another good detail, because you could not put that in the comic just as easily as well, probably more easily than it would be to put it in there. But it's a detail of what it is, what this thing is in this human world, and this is their world's Ultra Mega. Apparently his name's Jason. Jason Statham. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? If they made an ultra mega film and then Jason Statham was... I've got to do a comedy bit now. What would it be like if Jason Statham was ultra mega? It'd be like this. Oi, what the fuck are you talking about? That's my Jason Statham impression. I'm not very good at Jason Statham impressions. I recently watched Snatch and Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, both of which in both of which Jason Statham features prominently. So I should be on it, shouldn't I? He then proceeded to beat fuckface to death with the closest thing to hand, which happens to be a 12-inch black rubber penis. I can't do that. I'm sorry. What the fuck are you talking about, you mug? I'm fighting these fucking monsters for you, and you ain't done shit for me. What the fuck are you talking about, you little shit? There you go. That would be my Cockney Ultra Mega. Why is this Jason Statham? Oh, because it was called Jason. Okay. They're coming out of the walls. There's a lobster guy. Is this Lobster Robin? Did he make it into Ultra Mega? He's in the lift and they're all bursting out of the apartments. This one's fucking cool. I don't know what the fuck. It's like a harpy with a bird body, a fish with like a man torso as its tail. That's really fun. I fucking love that shit. That's just how fun. And from previous issues, we saw the Ultra Mega, his head has been put onto this like animatronic body or whatever, which is funny looking in itself. All the monsters hanging out looking for the Ultra Mega, with the eyeball guy just like, ugh, fuck are you doing? This is disappointing. Seriously. So he's on his way to escape. But then the office building fucking explodes with monsters. Jesus, this spiky one, a crustacean man. This guy. Squee! Gonk. Grach. I wonder if they speak like Pokemon, if they're saying their names. Probably not. Meanwhile, in the apartment building, it's all monsters. It's all monsters. It's all monsters. The whole goddamn thing is just fucking monsters. And then these little guys have come out of their man suit. Guys. Battle positions! Guys! Kagami integration! Yeah! These teeny tiny little guys. Because remember, I think it was the first of the new issues. At the end of it, they came out and they were like, take us to your leader, or that sort of, they didn't actually say it, but that sort of thing. And there was like just a regular sized rat that was bigger than them because they're teeny tiny. But then, they're big now and they can kick monster ass. So they grow now because she's that bit. They got big and now they're fighting the monsters. Meanwhile, Ultra Mega's been thrown through a fucking skyscraper. Choom. So he was like lodged in it, and then this guy pulls him out and then chucks him straight through, decimating the fucking building, flying down this concourse of buildings, through another one, laying beaten and bloodied on the ground. Then there's this guy. This is brilliant. Like the way he's drawn, he looks a bit weird, but he's obviously like all sort of shriveled up. So all his skin is like wrinkled and compressed together. And then he inflates himself like a pufferfish with all his spines. Jets up into the sky and then smashes down onto Ultra Mega, his arm just like... and then just getting punched in the head, kicked, beaten the shit out of. Look at him. Just fucking beaten raw. Shit's harsh, man. And these guys are fighting their monsters. Look at this, what's going on? Yeah, my energy wanes. I think they said before they only... time is limited with this technique. We'll hold them back while you find somewhere safe. But their energy is waning, so they're going all like discoloured and weak. They're flopping around and being chased by a shitload of monsters through the alleyways. And he's biting on his head. They're chewing him. Fuck. They're gonna fucking just tear him apart. But then, as if out of nowhere, this laser comes out of the fucking sky straight through this guy's head, and then and I love that. I think you see it in quite a lot of animes. I think it's in Akira at some point, where like a laser hits and shoots across, and then after like a second or two, then there's an explosion. It's a really cool like visual effect. And that seems to be what's happened here. With the laser, you know, it's moving at the speed of light, obviously, so it just goes through his head. And the matter of his body and his head doesn't have time to react instantly, so it then reacts to being blown apart. And his body just goes vaporized, all parts of him coming away. And then this guy gets it, and this guy really fucking gets it. Lasers all over the place. Well, Ultra Mega's there, just like, ugh, the fuck, with his voice telling him, young Ultra Mega, concentrate on your feet, boy, and take flight. Fly, boy. Oh, I guess this is the laser talking to him. Shoom! When he blasts off, like Team Rocket. And the laser vaporizes all the monsters. The mysterious laser. And is he in the ocean or something? Crashes down. Or in a desert. That would make sense. I don't know if it makes sense, but it is what it is. Yeah, get back! I'm sorry, Beth. Oh, we're defeated. Shoom! All the monsters are dead. What the hell was that? Which is my thoughts exactly. This fucking space laser comes out of nowhere, destroys all the bad boys, and he's just left there like, huh? What the fuck was that? Or hell, rather. That's birds. He's in the desert. A little lizard licking his eye. That's cute, little lizard. Yeah, he's made a crater from where he hit down into the sand. Are you awake? Are you awake now, boy? So I'm picturing the hitchhiker, is it, from the Mighty Boosh? Are you listening, boy? I hope it's beginning to dawn on you how lucky you are, boy. Oh, it's coming out of me like a yellow cable. Ooh. That's when he's doing a wee-wee. This mysterious old guy shows up. Teeny tiny. But I guess he's probably human-sized, whereas Ultra Mega's just big. Like this, he pulls a packet of cigarettes out his beard and lights one with his mystical magic thumb. There's giant land sharks or something in the desert. Jesus. Craziness going on. I love the drawing of this guy. It's the line work in his beard and everything, and his funny proportions of his body. It's just James Harren's artwork, man. And they're travelling. They travel through the sands, through night and day, through storms and clear weather. And then they come across big bits of stone shit. Yeah. Well, we made it. We made it, boy. That would be quite funny if they had if they made an Ultra Mega film and everyone in it was just Cockney. If it was set in London. Or not even, it's set in New York, but everyone's a Cockney. Because it doesn't have to be like Earth, does it? Well, we made it, boy. The training ground is inside the temple. Which one? The broken one, of course. You're serious? That's the door. It's so small. I like how he's talking as well. You're serious? That's the door. It's so small. Because his face is all swollen. Like fucking beaten into raw meat. So he's talking through gritted teeth. So he's talking like this. It's a good detail. It's a good detail for the comic. I mean, he has a vision of some kind, I think. My baby boy, sleep tight, my boy. You're in good hands. I can't lose that now. That's going to be it for the rest of the episode, sorry. And then the moon is like an Ultra Mega moon or something. And then he wakes up buried in the sand. What the hell is that? Something in the space. In the space. Some kind of sword, I think. I love the handle of it. If it's a sword and this is the handle, just the tubes, pipes and tubes. I love some pipes and tubes. Lobster Robin. Sorry to mention him again, but he's on it with the pipes and tubes. And it shoots down from space into the earth, into the sand, creates sandstorms throughout the city. This giant sword that opens up. I guess that's a little door, and a guy jumps out. Anybody home? Certainly smells like a kaiju in here. Is he a kaiju hunter? Bunch of shit happening. These guys show up. Don't know what's going on. Hey, got the minigun out of nowhere. Oh no, it's not out of nowhere. It came in a thing. Okay, I was going to say like Gun Viking. He stole my idea. But no, there's this thing comes out the ground, and it opens up, and it's a giant minigun. That's kind of cool. Swing. Is it shooting monsters out of the gun? That's quite cool if it is. Is that where this goes? Is that what that is? Is that why there was the giant minigun in the city? All the people in the city get fed through these tubes into this underground bunker, which ends up, with tubes, it ends up connecting to this giant minigun. And because those people turn into monsters like they did earlier, and then it fires them out, and they turn into monsters to defeat the kaiju. Well, that's pretty fucking cool, isn't it? Jesus. That's some pretty good storytelling as well. I had to, because I didn't read it, because, whatever. I had to piece that together through, available evidence. That's pretty fucking smart. I like that. A monster cannon. And then fires all the monsters out. This is big fucking purple guy. But there's got to be a but. Turns them all to dust. What? Die. More monsters. Zoom. It's got fucking Neo's the one power from the Matrix. Just stops him dead. Fucking mind powers. What's going on? All these monsters fired at it, and he just stops him, smushes him in the air. And he's got a fucking... Oh, I don't know if that was... Okay, I thought that was a sword, this thing, but maybe it was just like a spaceship. It just looks kind of sword-like. But then he does have a big fucking Soul Calibur sword. Did he make those? Did he make the sword out of the monsters? Because he says thank you for your donations. So yeah, I guess he mashed all the monsters together into weapons. Spines for the thing and... Curses, how? Meanwhile, Ultra Mega's there just like, what the fuck is happening? That's bananas. That's absolutely insane. Good gosh. You may have seen I did an inverted painting and drawing video. That was quite a fun one. I put the whole thing together over the course of maybe 24 hours, like from having the idea for it to actually making it and putting it out there. It was quite good turnaround for a video like that. But I thought what could be fun, I mean, I might not do it, it was just something I thought could be fun, literally that, thought it could be fun, would be because there's part of the video where the video itself is inverted, so you can see the inverted thing as I'm doing it. I thought it'd be fun to paint my hands inverted, like paint it the sort of the turquoisey kind of colour with like the black lines where it would be shiny and stuff, and then paint a picture. What was my idea? I can't remember my own idea now. And then paint the picture inverted or paint it normal, and then when I invert it, my skin is normal and the painting's... Nope, I've completely I completely forgot what it was that my idea was for that. Never mind. Anyway, hey! How are you guys doing? I hope you're swell. Because I am living in existential hell. Well, no, I mean not entirely. I'm alright. Well, no, I'm not. But it's whatever. Right. So, when you plan a thing to draw, but you don't plan a thing to talk about. I could talk about what I'm drawing, but I haven't got to the point where I'm going to do the reveal just yet. You might even be able to sort of see or tell what it is. It's going to be in the name of the... all of this for nothing is what it's ultimately going to be. It's going to be for naught. What if the Hulk combined with Ultra Mega and it was Hulk Mega? Oh my god. Well, wouldn't that be... Oh, that'd be crazy. You imagine that. You imagine if it was a Hulk Ultra Mega, and a Hulk. It's just Hulk Mega, isn't it? I'm trying to make it seem like bigger and more impressive than it is, but it's just. Oh yeah, what if the Hulk was also an Ultra Mega? What would that look like? Would he talk like Jason Statham? Would he talk like a Cockney, my boy? Who knows? I have fucking shit all to talk about. Well, no, right. So, Butvember's finished, and even early this Butvember, I was contemplating whether or not to continue with it, because several times over the month, Instagram was deleting posts. And luckily, with all the actual Butvember posts, I was able to get them re-uploaded, because it's obviously Instagram's AI system detects something that looks like the human body and says, shut it down, it's not allowed. And then you're able to send it for a review, where I assume a human being looks at it and goes, oh, okay, yeah, that's not against the guidelines, so we'll re-upload it. Which is just incredibly inefficient. Like, maybe their systems, their bots, their technology, whatever, does stop some amount of inappropriate content being shared. But for the amount of times just in the last month I had to, send pictures back for a review to then be re-uploaded, or to ask for a review of shit getting deleted, for a human to then look at it and decide, oh, actually it's allowed. Like, how is that an efficient way to have that as a system to run the business or whatever it is? It seems so fucking backwards. But that's been the case in the last sort of year or so. It's been just shit getting deleted, re-uploaded sometimes not. So I've been really unsure whether it's worth continuing with Butvember. If there's a chance that they delete enough pictures and then say, no, that's enough, we're now removing your account, like they did before. Because as I have mentioned, I can't really afford to have that happen again, like right now. I'm not happy about it, and I am working on a few ideas of other revenue streams or whatever, but at the moment, right now, I need Instagram to keep making a living doing what I'm doing. So I've really been wondering like if I should continue with Buttvember, and that's just butts. Like that's not even all the nudes and stuff that I sort of am somewhat known for drawing or whatever. It's such a fucking pain in the ass, but I am coming to a point where I'm thinking like I might have to decide to not to not draw them, but like to not post them on Instagram. It used to be that like I would think, oh, I can just put them on Patreon. You know, it's not ideal, but it's something. But even Patreon over the years has gotten more and more strict with its rules regarding nude content and such. So I just feel like a bit of a loss of like what to do about it all. But I did have an idea, being that I spend an amount of time on OnlyFans. Not an obscene amount of time, but I subscribe to some people. Some of them are friends, some of them aren't. Some of them are just pretty, whatever. I was thinking, because OnlyFans is largely used for and known as the nude stuff website. Obviously, it doesn't just have to be that. It's a subscription service. I mean, for a while, they weren't even going to allow sexual content, which was obviously going to ruin them, so they decided against it. But it doesn't just have to be like people sharing their nudes. Like, why can't it be for art content? Why couldn't I have like an art OnlyFans page? And I did think what I might do in the new year, because I'm as I've stated previously, the rest of this year can just fuck off. I'm just done with it. I just want it to be over with. Which doesn't really mean anything, because my thoughts on time and whatever is whatever. I don't believe in it. It doesn't exist. Holidays are made up. The new year isn't really a thing. I mean, it kind of is in terms of seasons and whatever. So I'm talking absolute garbage. Point is, I did think, right, in the new year I can do there's a few ideas I've got, and one of those ideas is to set up an OnlyFans page specifically for all my nude drawings, which might be good for a few reasons. I mean, it might bring in some money, but then the issue is that, see, if I subscribe to a friend's OnlyFans page, if I can afford to, it's usually to support them doing what they do. It's not necessarily about getting access to their nudes. It's about, just helping them, like supporting them in what they do, which I try to like make that a thing with my art, with Patreon and stuff, because there are people who say like, I'm not subscribing for $1 a month or whatever, just for some pictures, just for a print, just for this, just for that, which is fine, because if you're going to spend money on anything, you feel like you want to get something from it. You want value for the money you're spending, which you absolutely should do, because it's your money that you've potentially worked hard to earn. So if you're going to spend it on stuff, you feel like you want to get value for that, which is, I get it completely, but I try to sort of make it known that you're not just buying shit from me, you're not just signing up so you can get something that other people can't get, you're also literally supporting me, like, which is, I prefer to sign up to stuff like that, not just so I can get something, especially with OnlyFans, because most of the time wonderful people leak a lot of people's nudes and stuff online, so you can usually find all that for free, which it's not wonderful, but it is what it is. And there's even if it's not that particular person, there's porn online for free. You can find it anywhere and everywhere. So it's I don't necessarily need the nude images and stuff that I'm subscribing to see, but just literally helping to support someone. And there are people out there who are on Patreon and whatever else, and they do it, I guess, for that reason, to support me in what I do, which is very, very lovely, and I very much appreciate it. But that's the thing with like OnlyFans. I think people have this idea of it as being, you sign up for OnlyFans, you get to see something, and I don't know if people are going to sign up to OnlyFans to see drawings. Like, if they're going to see nudes on OnlyFans, they may as well sign up to actual like models OnlyFans and stuff, rather than just me going, look, I drew another booby picture, do you want to see my booby picture drawing? But I have to think, maybe and hopefully, if I do set it up, people will subscribe just to support me, and they will. I mean, what they'll get is, what I plan on uploading is my full catalogue of every nude drawing I've ever done, fully, explicitly uncensored and whatever, all in one place. But also, it will just be nice for the support. And I've, over the years, I've learned not to have thoughts or dreams or ideas or anything of anything good that could ever happen. But there's always the chance that I set up an OnlyFans for my new drawings and it becomes sort of popular for what it is. People might enjoy seeing the artwork, and I might make some kind of useful amount of money from it, which is not the point, but the point is literally just I want to show off my nude artwork. It's becoming less and less possible on Instagram. Stuff I've shared in my, like, I tried sharing But Vember stuff on my main page in the stories, and it's been deleted a couple of times without being re-uploaded, which, I mean, they're only going to do that a certain amount of times before they decide to delete my account, so I can't keep doing that, which is really fucking annoying. It's disheartening, it's discouraging, it's close to depressing. It's just really, it's frustrating as hell, especially with some of the shit you see that stays on Instagram. If you've got people with hundreds of thousands or millions of followers, and they can show any amount of skin they want. And I think often these people know someone on the inside, and if their account gets removed, they can like talk to their contact and get it re-uploaded or reinstated or whatever. I've heard of a few people who have that kind of setup, which, good for them. That's fine, sure, whatever. But it's, I'm gonna have to, I think, have some sort of official stance of I will no longer be uploading nude artwork to Instagram while I'm making the majority of my living on Instagram. If there comes a time where I don't have to worry about making money on Instagram, if everyone subscribes to my Patreon, if everyone who watches my videos, who likes my stuff, if they all subscribe to my Patreon for $1 single a month, I'll be all good. Patreon.com/ewan. $1 a month. You get a bunch of shit, and it helps. It helps immensely. Like, genuinely. The support is great, and I have fun knowing talking with people there and knowing that they are there. It's a good time. But the money does help. And that's another thing I was going to say. So the OnlyFans is just an idea I've had that I may look into doing. Even I'll do it for a few months just to see if people enjoy it, if it picks up traction, if I enjoy having another site to upload shit to. I'll see how it goes, and if I feel like I'm not getting anything from it, then I'll just drop it, because why wouldn't I? But it might be a good thing, we've yet to find out. But another thing is, with all my talk about Patreon and everything, in this next year, there's a few areas I'm going to really try to put effort into that I feel like I've necessarily been neglecting, but there are places where I you know have been neglecting and could do with putting some more effort into. And I feel like Patreon is one of those things where it sort of, and it's happened now and again, where it becomes just a place to put the podcast every week and then forget about Patreon until the next week when the next podcast gets uploaded. And that's basically it. And then, another post now and again, as and when I've got something I feel is appropriate. But for the most part, it's just the place to upload the podcast every week before I make it public on YouTube. And I always wanted Patreon to be more than just that, and I do still want Patreon to be much more than just that. So I am going to be making a concerted effort in the new year to really put more time and effort into my interactions with and around Patreon. So I've got some ideas for like things to do, almost like activities on Patreon, as well as just like engaging with it more often, more thoughtfully, more fully. Because people are subscribed and people do, take the time to like send me messages and leave comments on Patreon, and it really is like, the least I can do is give them the time to actually interact, which, in my defense, being the depressed little sod I am, I can sometimes have great difficulty keeping up with messages and content and art and trying to be at least somewhat healthy, which fails all the time. Just everything I have to do on a day-to-day basis is incredibly overwhelming sometimes. And so replying to messages and stuff like that can be really, really, it can be a lot, is all. So that's, in my defense, it's not always easy to just reply to some messages or whatever, as easy as it might sound. I've got something in my teeth, I can't. Rice. Nice. But as I say, I am going to really try to put in the effort to make shit happen. And part of the reason for that is I really want to try to grow my Patreon. I don't tend to set goals because of how often they just don't happen, they don't work. But in my head, in my imagination land, on the inside of my brain, I have this idea, like a kind of a plan for Patreon that I'd like by the end of next year to have Patreon built up to a point where it's becoming the bulk of my income through Patreon. That's my goal. I might not reach it, it might not happen, but that's what I would very, very much like to have happen in the new year. Annoyingly, what that means, among other things, is there will likely be a lot more of me pushing my Patreon and saying, hey, if you like this, go to see more, subscribe to my Patreon. Hey, you should all, is everyone subscribed to my, make sure you subscribe to my, I mean, I'm going to try not to be annoying with it, but I can't promise that. I'm really, because as has been the case, like I say, Patreon's just been there and I upload when I have something to upload. And other than that, it kind of gets left in the background a bit. But I really would like it to be doing more for me, and therefore I need to be doing more for it, which stands to reason, doesn't it? It can't be all take and no give. I've got to put in the effort somewhere. So that's like I say, that's one of, so those are a couple of my ideas for the new year. Things I'd like to do, goals, bunch of shit, nude drawings. Because some of my nude drawings are some of the favourite of my drawings I've ever done. Like, literally, some of my favourite ever art that I've created are some of my nude drawings. And I just can't show them because Instagram will delete them. Maybe they'll leave them up. I'll never know unless I try. But if I try and they delete them enough times, then that's my account fucking gone. And now I can't pay my rent. So, yeah, it's an absolute farce. It's just absolute gobshite. But legitimately, some of my new drawings are so fucking good. I was looking through them recently because in my head I was putting together like I'll need to make like a banner for the OnlyFans page, so I'll get some of my best nude drawings, Photoshop them sort of like in a collage, and then use that. And then some of my favourite ones to upload as like a first few posts on that OnlyFans page. So yeah, I've been putting some kind of like thought into it. So yeah, looking through them recently, there's certain drawings I look at and I'm just like, damn, like that's a good fucking drawing. Even outside of it being like a nude or whatever, just the drawing itself is just like fucking good. And I want to show people. I want to say, hey, fucking look at this shit. But outlets for that are limited, sadly. Which, like I say, is an absolute ball ache and really shouldn't be the case. You know, you've got really fun people that like to talk about the degradation of art over the years. Modern art's all a bunch of bullshit and no one paints like classical portraits and things anymore. Well, like, people do make gorgeous artwork, but you have to allow it. Otherwise, no one's going to be able to see it. And if no one can see it, who's going to want to make it if they don't get inspired? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, I do know. I know everything, but I can't say that because then I sound conceited. It's ideas. It's all ideas at the moment. You'll see. I really like this drawing at the moment. It's really fun. Hulk Tremega. Who knew? Who knew an Ultra Mega Hulk would be such a fun guy? But why? Why? I mean, you could say why not? But there is a reason that we are drawing a Hulk Tremega. I'm just ruining it with all this black now. And that reason is because not only are we looking at the new Ultra Mega, we're also looking at the new Hulk. A couple of things about this particular issue. It's quite thick compared to the I don't know if that did anything. Compared to the normal issues, and it does say Marvel 2-in-1, The Thing, and the Incredible Hulk. Really cool cover. I really like that drawing. It's a really, really good one. Also, the Hulk and the Thing are similar in my mind in terms of like size and shape and like form and what they do. And in terms of drawing, they're both fun characters to draw. They've got very, distinct looks. And I find myself, whenever I draw like Hulk heads, before I add like hair or the rest of the Hulk or just green, in my head I can kind of see it being similar in shape to the Thing's head. So they have, similarities. But then, so there's the, Nick Klein Hulk. We'll get to that. But I was like, oh, okay, so I guess this is like a Thing comic attached to the Hulk comic. But it's not. There's not a single picture of the Thing in here. So I don't know what the fuck this is. Now, right, so that was one of two things about this particular comic. Number two of two things about this particular comic is I originally was going to purchase a different cover to this same comic, which had a John Romita Jr. cover of the Hulk fighting an octopus or like a big squid monster or something, which was really, 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 really cool. I loved that cover and I was like, fucking sick, let's go. I had that and Ultra Mega in my hand. I was walking around the store seeing if there's anything else worth looking at. I put the 2 comics on top of some books on a shelf while I looked at another book, so my hands were free. And I was like looking through the book, I was like, whatever, put that book back. As I went to grab the 2 comics, the Hulk was on top, it slid off, and it slid down the back of the shelves. And it was like a few shelves up, so it slid down and like behind the shelves, which are like attached to the wall or whatever. And I was like looking behind this shelf, behind the next shelf down, behind the ground. And like the shelves, you can't get under them or anything. It's like, it's a block, basically. So that comic's lost. The only 2 copies on the shelf were that one and this one, which means the shop's stock will say they've got one in stock, but they haven't. Well, they have, but it's behind some shelves. I should have told someone, but my immediate reaction was to back away slowly, grab this, and then go and pay and leave, lest they see what had happened. I could have just said something. Oh, by the way, I accidentally dropped a comic down the shelves. I'm really sorry. I could have said that, but I didn't want to. I thought I'd feel silly. I thought they'd look at me and go, "You twat! What the fuck is wrong with you? Why did you throw a comic down the back of the shelf?" I didn't. I swear, I just dropped it. I'm sorry. So that's still there now, for all I know, just down the back of the shelves. And it's a real bummer as well, because like I say, it was the only 2 copies out on the shelf, and that was a really cool cover. But instead I had to get this one, which has the thing on, and it's a cool drawing, but the thing's not even in it, so I don't know why it's even there. I think because of the way the shelves are built, because stuff can obviously fall behind them, I might have been able to reach down the back of the bottom shelf and grab the comic and fucking a disease maybe. But I thought that would look silly and suspicious if I was just on my knees reaching behind the shelves. I'm not going to do that. And I didn't tell anyone, and I should have. But never mind. Anyway, a bunch of the recent Incredible Hulk comics have had art by not Nick Klein. So when I open one and I see Nick Klein and Danielle's, which I think is this. Look, the squid monster that the Hulk was fighting on the previous cover that I dropped down the shelf. I was very, very happy to see Nick Klein's name and to open it up and see Nick Klein artwork. And yes, and yes, and yes, we fucking love to see it. Look at that. His hand-painted, hand-inked pages. I might have to go back through the series and just look at just these pages, because they're really, really gorgeous. I mean, all of his artwork. I saw on Instagram yesterday, I think it was on like Felix Comic Art, one of those like art sales pages they have, a Batman commission that was done by Nick Klein. I didn't know it was Nick Klein. I saw the Batman commission and I was like, fuck, that's good. That's really, really fucking good. It's just Batman, but he's big and bulky and he's like holding his cape and jumping and the light's really, really nice and the line work and everything. And I was like, who did that? And I looked down and it said Nick Klein. And I was like, of course it's Nick Klein. That gorgeous kind of artwork comes from Nick Klein. And then as soon as I knew it was Nick Klein, it made sense. And I could see Nick Klein's like colour and stroking patterns, ink lines and stuff. His artwork's just so fucking tasty. And this one, right, so there's this person, I think the Hulk. This is the Hulk. And they're like growing a tree and the monster people are eating fruits, which are maybe hearts or something, off of the tree, the Hulk, the Banner Hulk tree. My God. I might have to keep a list of like pages that I would feel I'd have a nervous breakdown at the idea of drawing them. Like if this was in the script, Hulk's body on the ground with like, you know, looking withered and you can see his ribs and bones and stuff, with a tree growing out of him and Bruce Banner's like part of the tree with his screaming face, and there's like a werewolf and a harpy and one of the things from Dark Crystal, and they're all eating these heart fruits off of the limbs of the tree, and there's people around and stuff. Like, I'm confident I could draw it. Nowhere near as good as this, obviously, but I could make that image exist. But the thought of it is just... it's just a lot. These are great. These shots of the Hulk, like, in the ground. He's part of the environment. Stupid kid. Don't need your help. Should have run. In my head, that sounded like the Nords from Skyrim. Don't need your help. Then I took an arrow in the knee. A bunch of shit happens. All of this is to get to a page that we'll get to that. That's cool. Something I don't know. Something happens and this guy bursts out of a monster. But that's cool. That's fucking cool. The monsters look cool. Nick Klein's inking is so good. It's just so good. It's so precise as well, which I think is one of the issues I have when I ink, is I just go like, yeah, this will do. That's fine. It's fine. Ink black spaces on the... And yeah, I take a bit more care when it comes to like hatching and stuff, where necessary. But every little bit of like Nick Klein's inking is so precise. I'd love to see video or something of him creating his stuff. And then this bursts out of her. Some fucking winged wolf beast. Everything's bursting out of everything. You got a tree bursting out of the Hulk. This guy bursting out of that. This thing bursting out of her. Jesus. So he came out and he was like, yeah, I'm going to fucking get you. Oh, is this a vision of the girl's dad? It's a skinwalker. They can take the form of people they've consumed. Oh no. The thing ate her dad. You killed him. You killed my daddy. And I'm going to kill you. Get him, kid. So the skinwalker was like, haha, I'm your dad. No. And then she was like, yeah, I'm going to fucking kill you. And he's like, oh shit. Oh, my bad. Oh. Again, the Banner to Hulk transformation scenes in these comics are incredible, just amazing to look at, and similar transformation scenes of this girl's face tearing open as this wolf beast comes out, and great in terms of like panel layouts and stuff as well. Like there's that this page is, or this spread is almost a mess, but it's very well laid out. Like it kind of reads left to right, top to bottom, but also sort of it curves. You know, she's here and then here and here and here. But it's very, very nice. It's very pretty. That pose is great as well. The legs out and then like the bend of the foot planted into the ground, hands on the floor, as she's like arching as this thing's fucking bursting out of her. Very American Werewolf in London transformation vibes. We like that. And there's that. Tears this fucking guy in half, whoever that is. I don't know who... Is that someone? Is that Banner? Some guy with long hair? Ish? And a jacket? Who was that? I don't know. Oh, it's this... Oh, is it like a... Is it like a fake Bruce Banner? Or is it just a guy? Some guy, I don't know, gets torn the fuck in half. Guts and such. This fucker's getting stabbed. That's fantastic. That would be one to own. That's another list I've got to make. Pages definitely worth owning the original artwork of. Like, as a single page, a single piece. That's pretty. Jesus, so many great spreads. Shit's on fire, yo. Hulk's getting more and more dead. It's zombie Hulk. What if the Marvel Universe was all zombies? Oh my god. They should do a series of that. I do know that's a thing, by the way, before anyone comments saying, oh, there's actually a Marvel Zombie series. I know this. Oh, I like this. It's like regrowing out of the ground. Oh, go on, Hulk. Fucking get him. Little monster fights going. It's just monster fights in all the comics we're looking at today. Monster fights, monster fights, monster fights. It truly is a monster mash. Oh, so good. I don't love this lettering. It says boom, and like the middle O is like a ring within a ring with this line. But to me, it kind of looks like a target, like a crosshair on like a night vision gun or something. And I don't know. I don't believe that's the intention. There's like boom, 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 boom. But I don't love the. It would almost be fine without the line, the horizontal line. But even then, the middle O looking like a target. Bit unsure about that. But then, because you've got like the boom and the and shit in the background, hand drawn. The bloom there, that's a great boom. Like heavy ink on a brush to do that lettering. Obviously, I assume by Nick Klein on the original artwork. It looks great. It fits into the comic, into the thing, and as a whole, and it's all like it looks like this is digitally added, but that looks hand done. And the hand lettering is fantastic. But then you've got this weird, like translucent digital thing added. It almost looks like it was literally an afterthought that an editor was like, "Oh, put this in there." I don't know if that's the case. Obviously, I'm guessing, but I don't like it. It covers like major portions of the artwork as well, and it is translucent. You can sort of see through it, but like it's a big green shape right in the front of these pieces of artwork. Like Hulk getting up out of his dead corpse self to, I guess, tear this tree down or whatever, and there's just this green shape over it. That's a good shot of eyes, though. This demon is really fucking cool, and everything's fighting and getting torn apart. And then the Hulk eyes, just like the Hulk Clint Eastwood eyes. And it looks cool, but it's drawn well, it's lit well, the inking is like, it's in the right places. And then, Gadzooks. So I picked this up off the shelf and I was flipping through it. I think it was this copy I was flipping through because I was so confused as to the cover. And in the shop, I got to this page and I actually went, whoa, like out loud, just like, God damn. Like I was looking at some dirty magazine and I got to the centerfold and I was like, oh baby, yeah, give me that good shit. Ugh. But look at it, fucking hell. God damn. It's just insane. Like if this wasn't a Hulk comic, that would just be an incredible piece of artwork. But it happens to be in a Hulk comic with good lettering in the background, hand done. Imagine if there was one of those green boom things right there. It's just like, what are you doing? The fire with, he's still in the tree. I think that's Banner in the tree anyway. Flaming corpses and stuff. The colours are really nice. Like it blends from orange into whatever flesh tones and purples and pinks, which works well with the greys and the purples, and it's it has such a nice. There's another one if you own that, but that like the black and white artwork of that to own would be amazing. but a colour print of that, like without the centre line of the pages, just one full colour print of that at like twice this size would be so good. Like the texture on the smoke in the background, and it's like it's minimal as well, so I find I have to be really careful with doing that. If I put like smoke and stuff in the background, if you put just a little too much ink into it, it can sort of start to dominate and, you know, take over from the detail of the foreground. Obviously Nick Klein knows what he's doing, so he's not going to have that trouble, is he? But yeah, just fucking fantastic. Just the drawing and the ink work and the lighting and shit. And I like because this demon is this woman from a previous issue, and I think it's her who she's referring to herself as the eldest. She's the eldest. And then Hulk's like, eldest? You're the eldest? Yeah, well, Hulk is strongest. He's ready to fucking throw down. And he does. With a flaming tree right into its fucking head. And that's in the lettering as well. Boom. And it's all within the... That's really fucking cool. Big flaming crater in its head. Melting face. Oh, he's such a badass. You have broken the unbreakable vow, fractured son. This crime will be the death of you. Who's gonna do it? Boom! You just fucking obliterates its head. The Hulk double fist. That was always one of the best things to do in the video game Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction. You get the double fist slam on the ground and just everything near you just goes... Cars and people and shit just go... Do that onto something's head and it's just a pink mist. Fucking dead. And then he wakes up. I guess the whole thing was in his mind. He woke up and it was all a dream. No. Something. I'll probably have to read it at some point. Oh, is that her skin that she tore out of to become a werewolf with wings? It's kind of creepy, keeping her skin in a bag. Although I don't know if he's done it by choice. Oh, because he opens the bag to look into it. Yeah, I don't know if he was cognizant of the whole thing. And then there's this. So that's Bruce Banner. And this is Amadeus Cho, a.k.a. the totally awesome Hulk, a.k.a. Brawn, a.k.a. self-described best friend of Bruce Banner. Hulk, don't know if I'm the one you're looking for, but asking you shall receive. I hate that. Fucking detest this as a Hulk. Not impressed. Not impressed at all. Like if you heard... what's the fucking guy's name? The guy, you know... Henry Cavill. Is that how you pronounce it? Cavill? It's like if they said, oh, Henry Cavill is going to be playing the Hulk. And you were like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. But all they did was make his skin green. And it's just Henry Cavill. And it's like... That's not the Hulk! What are you doing? He's not supposed to be like slim and suave and handsome. He's supposed to be a big monstrosity. But then the real Hulk is there because Bruce Banner is there. So that's fine. I'll let them off for that. And then there's some other shit. I don't know. Bunch of shit. Next issue. Hopefully it is a Nick Klein issue and not just his cover, because God, Mother, fluffing, damn.